Have you ever spent a lot of time thinking about
Yes.
quality of life towards the end of your life?
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Well, so like here's
wearing diapers when you're older?
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. So here's an interesting thing that we all take for granted, okay? Everybody tells you that you need to save for retirement, you need to be healthy, you need to do all these things so that at the end of your life, you know, you're living as optimally as possible, and the end of your life isn't like miserable, right? But I always wonder if I haven't explored it too much personally, but if there's an argument to be made that like two people reach like 50 years old, and then one guy's life is like measurably better, he's much healthier, he's saved for retirement, and the other guy is like living on Social Security, has some health problems. If like this guy could make the argument that like, yeah, you're going to live better than me now, and that's fine, but for the past 40 years I've done so much more fun shit that I'm okay having a shitty life.
Didn't we have this discussion, and this was actually one of the very few ones that I actually won?
Well, this was in regards to this was in regards specifically to dieting, but I'm speaking more holistically, like including like finances and whatnot as well, right? But somebody that wastes all their money like doing fun shit and stuff like that. And
but the principle is the same, that if you live a lifestyle that is well, okay, there's a lot of avenues to go down here, but yeah. I think ultimately the answer is, just to address the answer is probably you have to live the subjective experience that is most fun for yourself. And whether that be like pursuing money or like just going and fucking around, probably is irrelevant to your own personal preference.
Oh, sure.
I would think that's probably the right answer, right? Mm-hmm. But then beyond that, I think generally you get more rewarded if you lived whatever the function of is like a better life. You worked out, you just like
had a healthier diet, was more financially.
You followed the things that objectively we know lead to happiness.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Why? What do you think of it?
No, I was just curious. I haven't thought about it much.
I try not to think about like what happens when I'm old, because it's something I think I'm really afraid of.
Yeah, that's really bad shit.
I'm afraid of like waking up and just being like 50 one day, and you're like, shit, I didn't do anything. So.
Bro, I don't have that. Do you have that?
I don't have that. I have more like the feeling of being immobile and like of not
trapped
having the energy I have.
Rotting hunk of flesh that you can't escape from no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like terrifying. And then like when you consider like how much time that'll.
This is a pretty dark topic.
When you consider how much, I don't know how much the stream you can hear. Yeah.
Oh no, the mic is actually pretty sensitive. So like, so like quietly ask them like, can you hear me? Like you guys can hear us pretty well right now, right? Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. We're in a casino, so talking about like end of life, how horrible it is, something that like the nicest thing to do for the other patrons.
What also is troublesome is how long that period of time is, because you're looking at like 20 or 30 years.
It's a long time.
If you start, and so this is one of the arguments I think for a consistent health profile throughout your entire life, because if you start that earlier, you have a much better chance to live through as more healthy, right? I would much rather go down that route at 75 than I would at 50.
Sure. I don't know. I'm good.
With avocado.
That's fine. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. So, German's ketchup for fries.
We still got all this. We should be good.
Yeah, we should be good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is this ranch that came with the onion?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Have you ever heard of something called a Healthspan?
No, what's that?
So there's been a lot of, or I've heard of like a lot of criticism lately that we focus a lot on lifespan in the world, and that lifespan increases and we think it's good, but we don't often talk about health span, which is the amount of time that you live where you're in a healthy state of, right? Yeah.
So I've never heard of it referred to as that, but that is like that's a core personal development like principle. Yeah. It's super important to maximize that period of time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like Silicon Valley entrepreneurs that are obsessed with exclusively that, like to the extent that they're like transferring like different types of blood into their system, trying to figure out like how to like extend that. I believe really strongly in that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing is too though is I think you have to know what you can get away with. Like I think a lot of people, they sort of lose a lot of the sort of like gems of life because they follow those disciplines so what's the word, like
strictly, rigidly.
Yeah.
But I'd say those are fewer than the people who are lazy as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. But the truth is, like, you can get away with eating whatever you want once a week, twice a week. You'd probably be completely fine. I don't think the amount of things that
I eat
actually.
pretzels for breakfast, and look at me.
So there's a guy named Peter Attia who's kind of at the head of like human longevity and what actually affects it. And the point he usually makes is that there's actually like very little that will actually objectively affect human longevity beyond our genes, right? So like in terms of lifestyle decisions and what you can do, there's very, very little, right? The only like scientifically proven thing that we know will increase longevity is reducing caloric intake.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Everything else is kind of a meme. So whether you're eating salads and stuff every day or French fries, it's kind of hard to tell. I hate to say that because it feels like it should be different, but that's the actual truth.
Well, to qualify that a little bit, he's probably talking about in the absence of disease,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, and being obese can lead to a lot of things like heart disease or diabetes that will have an impact on not only how long you live, but the quality of life as well.
Yeah, but
the
you have to go pretty far down the rabbit hole to get to those places, right?
Sure.
Like,
one really interesting thing that a lot of people aren't aware of, and you find even educated people aren't aware of this. Are you familiar with the difference between lifespan and life expectancy?
yeah.
So life expectancy has increased a lot, right, as we've gone through the years
Yeah.
because it factors in things like child mortality. But lifespan hasn't actually really increased
It's
that
like
much.
medium, right?
Wait, now I'm lost. Can you explain that?
So
Yeah.
life expectancy will factor in things like death due to disease, will factor in things like child mortality. So like when you go like really far back, life expectancy might have been 30 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hear that, and I've even heard like Sam Harris say this, that doesn't mean that at like 30 years old you die of old age. It just means that so many people were dying of disease and
That the
shit.
median
That, like,
was
that the median,
30,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
But if you live to be like 40 or 50, like even in like Roman and Greek times, you could live to be like a healthy 60, 70, 80 years old. It's not impossible to do it, and it's not even remarkable. It's just that a lot of people are dying earlier. But like a lot of people have this idea, because you'll hear people say things like our lifespan is increasing so fast that we might get to the point to where it's going up faster than like our even ages. So we'll actually keep outliving or we'll never outlive our lifespan. But in reality, like your overall lifespan hasn't really been impacted that much as people.
Well, the average age of a American man is 82,
Yeah.
and woman is 86, right?
Something like that, yeah. Just
so
past 80.
that is a slightly longer lifespan than like Roman and Greek times, right? You couldn't expect because I think they would die closer to 70s. Is that right?
No, it
Yeah.
has increased.
But
it
it
just
hasn't
hasn't gone from like
increased as much as we
20
think.
to like
Yeah.
85. It's gone from like 60s, 70s to like 70s, 80s.
So you get
different.
people that are thinking like we're gonna live to like 150.
Yeah, people think that like my generation will think like by the time you live to 70, the average lifespan will be like 150.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is totally not.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The thing is, like, after you get old, your cells stop, like, multiplying at the same rate. And so the real trick is we have to harvest, like, young children and take their blood, and then we'll be able to live forever.
Sounds good.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But it's true.
But I think there are things in your body that stop regenerating or that start deteriorating. They can't just be replaced by.
There's a guy named Peter Diamandis, and I think I have to hit him right. He runs a pretty big company in Silicon Valley, and I think they're like trying to inject like young blood, like blood from like 18-year-olds like into
That's
their
what
body.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
But the
Like-
younger is better, obviously.
But this is like a meme. There's no like. Maybe there is. I don't know, but
Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't know any studies, but children who, like, have these terrible things happen to them, they just grow back.
well, that's stem cells, and that's one of the reasons why stem cells are such an amazing advancement. Is because you can do something like platelet replacement therapy, and you can completely cure old injuries because you're putting mesenchymal, whatever the word is. Mesenchymal stem cells. This chat will know.
Dissatisfied with these proportions.
Satisfied or dissatisfied?
Dissatisfied.
Is it a little big for you?
I mean, do you understand how a sandwich should be made?
Thank you, guys.
Last for the
Oh,
crumble.
excellent. Thank you very
And
much.
that's the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
And those stem cells have like enormous implications for how we cure injuries at our age. There's people that are like in their 50s that are getting like platelet replacement therapy and completely curing like old injuries in their shoulders and stuff like that you could never do before. So stem cells are actually like a huge medical advancement. but yet they're mostly illegal here.
Are you getting gray hairs yet? Is that a thing?
Probably somewhere, I'm sure.
I never think about it.
Yeah, I don't really
That's
care.
the worst part. Eat it. No, don't look.
That's because you're a girl, so.
I know, my value decreases over time, where your value increases over time. It's a tragedy.
That really sucks shit.
What?
It's a huge shitty thing that as men age, we're seen as like more wise, more revered, and still sexy. Like look at the James Bond, Daniel Craig. How old is that guy?
Oh yeah, you just
Late-
named my like
Late
top
50s. Late 50s.
He's late, but yeah.
Yeah, he's like 60s.
These people are paired with actresses like in their mid to late 20s. Yeah, because as men age, they become more desirable. But when women age, it's always seen as like a universe. Like every single thing as a woman that you do is to try to mask your age. You dye your hair back to the darker original colors. You get anti-wrinkle cream, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
There's an interesting interview with I think it's Anne Hathaway, where she talks about how she feels really bad.
Oh yeah, she's in the old category now.
Well, it was before that. She said she felt bad because she landed a lot of roles that she thought it was insane. Because there are a lot of like roles that'll be written for like women in their 30s that they'll give it to her because she was younger, and she kind of felt like she was fucking a lot of the older actresses out. And when I say older, I mean like early mid 30s actresses.
Yeah.
Because everyone's out by 40, like 45.
Well, it's just like it's kind of like I don't know. It just seems like once you pass like 30 as a woman, like the media doesn't really care. Like
There's not a lot of
entertainment.
archetypes for like 40-year-old women.
Yeah.
That's true. No.
Well, yeah, because in a lot of media, this has changed. Like within the past 10 years, it's starting to change. But in a lot of media, like the role of a woman is literally defined as an extension of a man. Like every woman is there to be like a romantic interest or a sex interest or something.
That's why the best character in Wonder Woman was Chris Pine.
Who was that? The guy?
Yeah, that's Kurt. Yeah, Kurt.
Yeah. Why was he the best character?
Because he's super hot. Like, I only
We
went to
disagree. We disagree on this. I think that Gal Gadot carried that movie really hard.
You think what?
I think Gal Gadot carried that movie really hard. Like she did very well. But
Yeah, I think so.
she thinks that the movie was only good because Chris Pine was in it.
Oh, I don't think so. I think she did okay.
Yeah, me too. It is hard though. But it's changing. Like you see so many female leads in Hollywood now.
Yeah, it's starting to change.
Yeah. Hunger Games. Maybe that's it.
It's all like Divergent series, like with
Yeah.
the strong female.
The strong female who don't need no man. That's becoming an archetype.
They're always young.
I think they'll let us film in the escape room if we say we're YouTubers.
Maybe.
Don't say you're a Twitch streamer.
Why?
It's not cool enough yet.
I never actually say that. If I ever meet like a girl and I'm trying to impress her, I never say like, oh yeah, I stream on Twitch. I'll always say, oh, I have 100,000 subs on YouTube is what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is like way less impressive than like I'm one of the largest streamers in the world. I just say like, yeah, I'm like a medium to small size YouTuber. It's like more impressive than the Twitch shit.
That'll change.
Yeah, hopefully.
It will. Are you really one of the largest streamers in the world? I guess so, huh? That's kind of scary.
I was actually pretty surprised. Oh, because you linked me that site that showed
yeah.
all the Twitch stuff, and I'm like 60th or whatever.
You're top 100, yeah.
Congratulations. That's really cool.
Fuck off.
You worked hard, man. You deserved it.
Well, technically, it's my fault because I used to be the largest streamer in the world for like a year. For those StarCrafts.
When was that?
When StarCraft was grown.
Yeah,
beat-
but it's not your fault. Star Trek.
That was before
Trek
before
sucks.
League got big. Yeah, it was the biggest streamer in the world for like a year and a half.
I remember.
Wow. This is before Hotshot, right? Because Hotshot was the biggest streamer on own.
Yeah, before League.
It was, yeah, it was before that got big. Yeah.
Yeah, you were like streaming before OBS and before XSplit, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you were like, that's
do you
crazy.
even do that?
Yeah, I don't even know how you do that.
It's black magic.
It's pretty crazy.
A lot of spiritual shit was involved in that. A lot of
I bet.
rituals had to happen every night. Some sacrifices were made.
That's some real shit.
Who's your favorite streamer?
I don't watch streams. I don't know. I thought all the Dr. Disrespect clips were really fun. I used to like him a lot.
Really?
Now people are like super caught up in like the drama. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny.
Did you like him before he was cool?
Maybe, I don't know. I liked it when he had like 4,000 or 5,000 viewers. I mean, he still does similar stuff. So I mean,
I'm so basic, dude. Like, probably my favorite streamer is Lyric.
you're a pretty normie. Damn.
I'm okay. Like, I'll admit it. I think Lyric is such a good streamer. It's hard to place, like, why. But it's sort of that, like, person on the couch with you stream. You were my favorite streamer for a long time, but then you started playing League. But we've been through this.
I like your League streams. Well, I only
Thank you.
watch your YouTube content, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and then my highlights are there.
Because you save so much time. It's so efficient to just like skip to the good part.
I agree.
Yeah, I enjoy when you put down Lily and her friends. It really tickles my heart.
Thank you.
It used to be that I would see you in Lyric on, and I'd be like, Destiny instantly. I would click it so fast. And now I have to look at the little subtext, League of Legends. Nope. I'm out, man.
Jeez.
Nice.
What you should do
No.
is you should put on IRL and then play League on IRL, and then you'll catch me, and I'll watch.
Just for you, Devin.
Just
That sounds
because-
like a really good way to get people to never tune into my IRL stuff.
Have you done an IRL stream before?
This is one.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
You're in one.
And it was in Seattle, right? Doesn't it?
Oh, that's good.
Great.
Anything that's not him playing video games is an IRL stream.
You don't do any art or anything?
Sometimes I play piano.
That's cool.
I love your piano compositions. Those are super cool.
Thanks.
You should tell Kat about that.
Do you have a piano at your house? I can play for you guys.
Aw,
You?
we don't.
You don't know?
No, we don't.
We don't.
No, you don't know if you have a piano at your house?
She has all kinds of instruments I don't know about.
I got rid of the piano because it was stupid. Like, no matter how hard you press the key, it didn't have any dynamics.
Tell
Oh.
her about your piano
It's just
compositions.
basically
How they work.
drums.
You love this. He has a really cool thing he does.
Are you like a musician or
Yeah, I mean, I was a band geek.
what does that mean?
I went to band since I was 12, and I did it all through high school.
She plays clarinet. Very, very well.
I feel like I've heard this before. I think you told me this before. I don't know.
Yeah, and you played the saxophone in band, right?
Yeah.
I just got Devin a guitar,
Oh.
It was a really cool gift.
but
I don't know how to tune it.
he doesn't want me to show him how to do anything.
I'm nervous that I like.
He's too stubborn.
Here's the really stupid reason that is.
It's gonna be real dumb, but I'm ready for it.
Okay, but maybe it'll be so dumb and it'll go back to like being smart. So I feel like if I learn it the wrong way first, I will not be able to learn it the right way. And martial arts is like this, where if you learn martial arts from a bad teacher, I did martial arts all my life. So like, if you learn martial arts from a bad teacher, it is way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's injustice. So what you're saying is that if you learn it wrong, you have to unlearn it and then learn it, which
I
is really
think so.
difficult.
Yeah.
Sure. You think she's gonna teach it to you wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, or less optimally than what I could get from you.
There's got to be something to be said. And I know this is like a theme of yours. It's got to have been said in all of your self-help shit. That sometimes it's better to just pick a decision and move forward, even if it's suboptimal. Because it sounds like a lot of your life is kind of stuck up in this like decision paralysis or something, or like indecision paralysis, where you're so scared of picking the optimal step that you don't pick anything at all.
Yeah.
Are you ever worried of that?
Terrifying. I get super legitimate. No.
This is something that I picked up a lot from StarCraft, from RTS, that oftentimes we like to think that we cannot make a decision, but you're always making a decision. If you don't make a
Including
decision,
no decision is a
yeah.
decision, yeah.
And that more often than not making a decision is worse than making the worst
Making the
decision. That if
making the worst decision.
or the suboptimal one.
Yeah,
But if you've got like two choices in front of
There's a
you.
huge difference though. Like making the worst decision versus the suboptimal decision.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, like in RTS, you're not making a decision that's going to like end your life. But like,
Man.
no.
I mean, sorry. I mean, end the game. No, I'm being serious. Like,
in the game, but I'm saying like in
yeah.
real life.
Well, no,
Obviously, I'm not
yeah.
saying that like just make like if you've got to think of whether or not to start chemo,
in
like just
real
make it.
life, you think I can't teach you how to tune a guitar?
I think it would be suboptimal to the point where it would be difficult for me No, tuning I don't know, but like actually playing it.
I was just gonna teach you how to tune it so you can try to play it.
We could do that.
But what I'm saying is that like if it sits for 2 years and you don't do anything, it probably would have been better.
It's way worse
to learn the wrong way and then unlearn it and then relearn it, right?
Yeah, I think that was baked into me because of when I was training. It was way more important to learn it the right way, and it was like there was like a literal consequence in not learning it the right way, right? Like the literal consequence was you lose fights, and so when I was competing, it was worse to do it. So you'd have to like make sure you got it right. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, I understand.
But I acknowledge what you're saying. I guess the problem is I don't know how to fix it.
Did you teach yourself
It's
piano?
not that easy.
Did I what?
Did you teach yourself piano, or did you have a...
I don't really know how to play piano. I can bullshit really well. If you don't know anything about music, then I look like I know how to play piano.
I think that's not true. I think you play piano really well.
pretty well.
I just know a lot of music theory because I wanted to do composition. So like in a piano, everything is laid out in front of you, so I can like make up a lot of stuff. And if you
Yeah,
don't know
I mean,
anything,
like
it's-
everyone who does composition has to know how to play the piano. I think.
yeah, you'll take something like a piano proficiency course or something. Yeah, sure.
I think it's a very challenging instrument. Because like
I don't think so. I think
never
piano's-
did bass clef, and so you have to like relearn music basically.
It's scarier. It might be scarier for you because you never thought about it, but I think that piano is one of the easiest instruments to learn, and I think it's way easier than any wind instrument. Wind instruments are so hard
It is because you have to learn, you know, your mouth as well as the fingers.
because on a wind instrument, it's going to take you 4 years to sound like you're not fucking garbage. Even playing something
I still
simple.
sound like I'm garbage, and it's been like 20 years.
Sure. Whereas like on the piano, you just have to push the key, and even a professional playing one note or a chord is going to sound the same as an amateur playing one note or a chord.
Mm-hmm.
But on a wind instrument, a professional can play something very simple and sound like God tier. And it's like, yeah, there's a huge, it's like a human voice or whatever for a wind instrument, right?
The instrument I really want to learn is an iwi. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
I told you about this.
Really?
Yes, I even said an iwi. It's an electric wind instrument.
Interesting.
And you can program it to play any MIDI sound effects.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
play any like
I remember you
old
told me.
retro game, 8-bit, 16-bit sound effects. And you can program it to have like whatever key or fingering you want. So if you know how to do a saxophone, you can program it to do saxophone fingering. And I can do B-flat clarinet fingering.
Interesting.
It's super cool, but pretty expensive.
What got you interested in the music theory?
I mean, I really like music, so it's like an extension of that, I guess.
But why specifically composition?
Because writing songs is like the coolest thing you can do for music, right? Rather than playing other people's songs, I like
Yeah.
to.
Did you ever actually do that, or you do that through your composition challenges?
I do think my composition challenge. I mean, I had a few pieces that I would like write for like our little jazz ensemble group or whatever, but I didn't get to do it a lot because by the time I was in college for music, I was working too much, so I didn't have the time.
For his stream, he does a thing called a composition challenge, where I think, if I understand it right, you play a basic tune on the piano, and then you have other people submit variations of that tune, and the one that sounds the best wins something, or?
Yeah, money.
Huh?
Money,
They win
yeah.
money? How much do you win?
I think the last one, first place, got $500, I think.
Have you ever seen the movie Amadeus?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great movie. Such a great movie. It reminds me of when he's playing Salieri's music piece and he just starts deconstructing the whole thing and playing it backwards and forwards and like adding new shit, and he's getting super pissed the whole time. Okay, we gotta get you in music.
I know.
It makes your brain work faster.
I need that. All I do is take the supplements for it right now. I feel like despite being alive a long time, I don't know a lot.
That's good. That means you do know a lot because you know how much you don't know.
No, I think I really, I think outside the meme, I really don't know a lot.
Oh, I mean, there's
I
tons of
think like
stuff.
I think I know like some very specific things. Well, the other problem too is like because I focus in personal development, and that's such a subjective field, it still makes me feel like I don't know a lot.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean?
This is why I value objective. No, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
Even the stuff that I think I know, I don't know. I know how to dance. That's about it.
There you go.
Have you given any more thought to like moving out to the West Coast?
Yeah, but I'm kind of like stuck. I can't really do it. So I don't want to leave my kid.
Is that for sure? You couldn't bring him?
I don't want to move him. If I was
He's
at
in
like,
school and shit. Like, you have friends and
California's not a good school system.
I don't know. My kid is like really fucked in a lot of ways, so I need to like not fuck his life up as much. I think.
wait, what?
My kid is like really fucked in a lot of ways, I think.
Why? Other than the separation.
So separation is a big one. It's a huge predictor of like a kid growing up to being fucked. He has Vanderwood syndrome. That's like a delayed his speech. Basically, there are just some physiological defects. So like the back of his throat, it hindered his ability to speak for quite a while. But even his speech right now is still a little bit behind.
Is it like a lisp?
No, it's like whenever you make a consonant noise, you have a thing that closes in the back of your throat to build up pressure in order to let you make those noises. And his didn't close for a long time. So there's something called hypernasality, where the air escapes through your nose instead, and it just hurt his ability to speak. So his speech is delayed, his parents are separated, and he has ADHD, I'm pretty sure. We're medicating him for it now. So I feel like he's got like a lot of things that are working against him, so I don't want to like uproot him and then move him to the West Coast. Like, I feel like I need to get as much control in his life as possible to not fuck with his shit.
Do you feel like he has like, thank you very much. Do you feel like he has like severe ADHD or just like kind of,
It's
like
pretty
generally
severe.
hyperactive?
It's pretty severe.
Okay. In the sense
Like,
that like he,
in the sense that like if he was in class before he was started to get help, like he would start like rolling around on the floor and
that's
shit.
how I was, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
really
that's,
severe.
That's actual legit ADHD.
Yeah.
Because
Does
there's
he do any sports?
No, but I'm thinking of probably getting him into something. I wanted to get him into martial arts, but the only thing next to us is a taekwondo place, and I don't want him to take. I don't want him to take a fake.
the thing is, man, yeah, like so. I feel very strongly about this. This is one of the things that like I'm. If I was raising a kid, I mean, putting them in martial arts would be so important. And
Yeah.
I think the best martial art you can do, and I'd be pretty surprised if you didn't have this nearby, is jiu-jitsu.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Anything
yeah.
involving grappling, I think, is like
Yeah.
really, really, really good.
Because it gives you a chance to like really like hit yourself against someone in an actual combative way.
Yeah.
But not in a way that can really injure yourself, like Krav Maga or
Aside
some
from
other.
like
You
pulling
can get
like
minor,
a whatever. Yeah.
but it's not like, I mean, jiu-jitsu as an art as well is sort of fashioned in a way to avoid that, especially at higher levels. Like
Sure.
he wouldn't be training with other white belts. You
Yeah,
know?
no,
like
no.
he'd be training with an instructor who would know how to take care of him and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So you don't have any jiu-jitsu?
There's a really good BJJ gym, but it's like 30 minutes away. It's the only thing that kills me about.
Take him, dude. I mean, it's or have someone do it.
Yeah, no, I
it's,
know,
it's, it really is worth it. Even once a week would be a life-changing thing.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. Yeah.
Especially with the ADHD, it'll help him so much. The thing that I was on Ritalin for many years, and the thing that got me to get off of it was martial arts.
Sure.
My parents put me in martial arts when I was 4, and I spent literally like 8 to 10 hours a day training after I was like whatever's before high school.
Middle school.
Yeah, that one. And that's all I did, and then I eventually started competing, and I forgot all about like all the problems that I had. Like it changed my life completely. It was such a positive thing. So like I believe that so strongly that kids should take martial arts. I agree that like where it can go wrong, if you're in like a TKD school that has like advances like a kid to black belt like in 2 months, you know. And then-
TKD's at Taekwondo?
yeah,
Okay.
there's a habit of American TKD studios where they advance kids very quickly. And
Well, because they just want you to like break boards and get belts, and it's like really dumb.
it's worse too. I really don't like this because it gives a kid a false sense of confidence,
Yeah.
and this is a really big problem. Yeah,
Yeah, and then it just feels like Taekwondo feels like kind of like a meme thing.
it's shit.
Whereas,
it's a total
like-
shit martial art.
I guess like this is kind of dumb, but like if you look up videos online of like people with training, like street fighting, like you're never finding videos of people doing like monster kicks.
Well, I think
Well,
there's
It's
probably
always
good
grappling
Taekwondo.
or it's boxing, you know? Those
You
are like
can
the
probably
two.
find a good instructor.
Krav Maga, if you can find it, the IDF art is really legit.
But I like something like jiu-jitsu because you can practice that, and it's
Thank
more
you.
of a there's like more of the conditioning discipline aspect to it.
Yeah.
Than like Krav Maga, which is like how to kick somebody in the balls like the most effective way. Like, I feel like it's a little bit
It
different.
depends on your instructor a little bit, but
Sure.
the trouble with jiu-jitsu usually is that like a lot of the sort of so martial arts like traditional Kempo, which was what I was trained in, Chinese Kempo, was a full circle martial art. You learned how to meditate, you learned how to carry yourself, you learned street awareness, right? You learned how to handle all kinds of different situations. Whereas like jiu-jitsu, I think the MMA aspect of jiu-jitsu has made it a very like just sort of like combat art. And it's taken away a lot of that full circle stuff. So sometimes it's better to put your kid in a martial art that's more Eastern in its discipline, simply because they get that sort of full circle thing.
Sure.
But obviously you kind of have to go by the options you have.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
I guess I just like the thing that would worry me about a full discipline thing, and I think it's good, but like the physical conditioning aspect of it is pretty important to me, and like a meme thing would be kind of disappointing to me.
Dude, I don't know. If you're in like one of the Shaolin like arts, those guys work out hard.
Sure.
I mean,
I don't know anything about it, but like I could imagine like finding like a holistic.
I would say
thing
like
that markets
a traditional Shaolin teacher would outwork a jiu-jitsu gym.
Probably.
Any
Keep in mind
yeah.
that I'm also in Omaha, Nebraska
I am.
too.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
like, well, and to me like the answer is very clearly to take him to the jiu-jitsu place, especially. Is it a Gracie school?
Whatever it was really heavily recommended by a guy that I trust that knows a lot of that
It's
shit.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? It's
I
probably
think it was
a Gracie
BJJ. I don't remember what it was. There was a name for this gym. Does anybody in chat remember? There's a name for it. But it's like a pretty popular gym throughout, I guess, the U.S. Was it 10th Planet? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. That's
I think it was that. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a franchise. I only know about the one in LA that's run by Eddie Bravo. It's super good. But yeah, it's probably legit. Depends on the instructor. But he should go. It's really important. How old is he now? 6 or 7?
7.
Yeah. Super important. I think it'll change his life.
Maybe, yeah.
If there was anything that I was like pretty firm on, the other thing, I wonder if we'll disagree on this, but the other thing I think you should teach him is meditation, without a doubt.
Sure.
Probably something pretty introductory, like transcendental meditation, would be good, rather than like samadhi or like one of the like harder schools.
Okay. I don't know anything about meditation, but
Transcendental meditation is just like
You just ask for this, don't you?
what?
Nothing, hon. Go ahead.
Don't patronize it. Like transcendental meditation is like you focus on a mantra, and then you meditate for on that mantra. It's like pretty simple to like pick up for a kid. I would start there.
okay.
I don't know if you're actually gonna do any of this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to do a martial art. I just don't know much about the meditation, but
Jiu-jitsu would be my recommendation.
I like kung fu.
okay.
Do you ever watch a lot of kung fu movies, like the old ones? Those are the best.
Yeah, actually, my drunk Cuban uncle, great uncle, was a huge Jackie Chan fan.
Oh my god, I love Jackie
So I've
Chan.
seen all the old Jackie Chan movies, and he watched a decent amount of the Bruce Lee ones, but I didn't like those as much because they weren't as funny. I always got in trouble for watching the Jackie Chan ones because unless I'm making this up, because I don't think this is in any new Jackie. Have you seen a lot of the old Jackie Chan films?
Yeah.
I think like almost every old Jackie Chan film always had like a nudie scene in it, or like a bathroom scene where either he's naked or there's like a girl getting her like skirt ripped off or something.
He always has like 2 or 3 like female co-stars, and they have like weird.
Yeah, there's always like something like that. Yeah, my mom would get really mad at me whenever I watched those movies.
No,
But
that's pretty tame. That's pretty tame.
my mom is like a very standard conservative. But, like I can watch something with somebody getting like their fucking throat sawed off and like their intestines and stuff. But if there's like one titty on the screen, she like loses it.
Exactly. My parents are the same way. Very sexually.
Does she watch your streams?
She tries to, but there are times if I'm talking about politics, she has to turn it off for a little bit because she gets like really heated.
Wasn't she like yelling in the background on one stream? I remember when she was over. You were talking about it, and like she started yelling.
No, that was my ex's mom.
Oh, really?
I didn't realize that she was a huge Trump supporter.
Yeah.
And I was on stream talking about how like all Trump supporters are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And she shouted at me from upstairs, and I didn't realize it. I think she might hate me now. After that, actually, it was really
That
awkward.
was really funny.
She got really irritated
Wait,
after
were
that.
you shouting in your house? What the hell? Like, you're supposed to just deal with it. Did she know you were streaming?
Yeah, but I mean, I was probably being pretty mean.
I think I saw it on live stream film, so that's where I got it. I'm not sure.
Do you just live in a place where there's like a bunch of Republicans?
Probably, it's Nebraska, so I'd imagine so.
But you're not a Republican or a Democrat.
I probably would lean left. I mean, if I was voting, I would probably vote Democrat. Yeah.
When you started streaming, you leaned right, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, libertarian, but yeah, I would
But
be.
also the definition of right was different back then.
Well,
It's like libertarian is off-center right.
libertarian is
Barely right.
like rightish. I don't know. Libertarians are generally retarded, so I don't know. It's hard to say what they believe in.
Didn't you have that meme where you were like in the center for a while? What was that?
I mean, I'm pretty centerish right now. The problem is that I very firmly believe in order to call yourself a Republican today, you have to be a fucking moron on like a variety of different topics. Like on more than one level, you have to be really fucking stupid if you identify as a
Why do
Republican.
you feel that way?
Because there's just too many things that like you're blind to the world. Like if you're a climate change denier, you're probably fucking retarded. If you're pro anything related to like teaching creationism or some shit in school, you're probably fucking retarded. If you're anti-contraception, you're probably fucking retarded.
Those are all the social issues. I think Republicans win out on the financial issues.
Well, the social issues, I wouldn't consider climate change a social issue. Like that's a pretty rooted in science. It's a pretty science-based issue.
And then we'll call it a science issue.
Yeah.
Same with like stem cells. That's definitely a science issue.
Yeah.
You have that Republican stance on that as well.
Republicans are also super naive in regards to foreign affairs, where they do like the big like America's the good guy, and every time we go into a country to fucking assassinate somebody, it's always for good reasons or some really naive, stupid shit. Whatever.
Did you read that thing where what was it? It was like I'm trying to get the name of the place, but whatever Aladdin's hometown was in the Disney, they said, do you support Trump bombing this place? And like 43% of people like said it.
I didn't hear about that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was like a huge percentage. Yeah, they're like not even a real place. The chat would know what I was talking about. I don't know.
What is it called? I'm drawing a blank. I should know this.
Agrabah?
Agrabah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Twitch chat is like living Google. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
would
wonder
you
if
support
that person actually remembered that or if he Googled it.
like would you support bombing Agrabah? And then everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's
That's the problem with democracies. There's just so many stupid people.
well, I think that who's the guy that memes on this a lot? This is a Joe Rogan thing. This is a Joe Rogan meme. Is that it doesn't make sense with 400 million people to have like one guy running it anymore. That like we should have a council of dudes that like.
Well, that's what Congress means.
Wait, we don't have one guy running it. What do you mean?
No. Like to have one president. That you should have like a council of people that do that role because also the ability of a president has changed a lot as well over the last several years.
Well, our council is supposed to be the Senate and the House, but our president just decides he's more important than that.
There's a lot of like powers that presidents have now that they shouldn't have had, right? That kind of started in the Obama era, or even the Bush era, right? Like
Well, it's been for a long time.
you
Executive
would know
power
more
has
about this.
definitely
increased,
increased, but
so Rogan's meme on that would be that like there should be a council instead of one person that holds that power.
no, the meme
People.
should be that the powers that the president has should be rolled back.
Yeah, but government never realistically works that way. It always gets larger.
Well, but realistically, we're not going to remain a single president to a council of
Why
presidents
not?
either.
You could absolutely do that.
That would be
No,
like
that would require a massive constitutional overhaul. You need an amendment for that at least.
What would you have to do to get the executive powers removed?
To get the Supreme Court would have to make some key rulings. It says the president can't do this.
But it's not nearly as big as like a old like reformation of
If
like,
we were to vote on like likely paths forward, I think it's more likely that a Supreme Court justice, if somebody would challenge a case like the president, well, this happens all the time. Like when states sue the president for like over immigration stuff, that case makes it to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court makes a ruling on whether or not the president can or cannot do this thing. And that's more likely to limit the power of the president than making
well,
the Constitution.
how did the executive power of the president increase so much in the first place?
I have no fucking idea. I would have to ask like a
thought you would know
government
that,
person. I don't know. Like you look at things like I don't know. There's a lot of things that the president does that I don't know why the president can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it started with executive orders. Like it's supposed to be used in states of emergency to get things done, and then we've just decided that you can use executive orders to do anything.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like how does DACA work? Delayed action for child. What does DACA stand for?
I don't know.
It was a delayed action for children of immigrants or some shit. I don't remember what the end is, but
Was that a Bush thing?
no, that was an Obama thing.
Oh, really?
But basically, I mean, like, illegal immigrants who come to the country have kids, but those kids...
naturalized?
Or no, I'm sorry. It had to do with children being brought in as illegals. And the DACA gave a pathway for them to register and not be deported or whatever.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I would argue it's a good thing, but the way it was passed was that was an executive action. Congress didn't need any... There was no input. So I don't know how the president can do something like that without congressional... Deferred action for childhood arrivals. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I don't know.